All right, good afternoon, folks. Let's go ahead and get airborne with our weekly options live trade brief, which we do every Monday at 1 o'clock. But since this is kind of a special week, we're doing options weapons school. We opened up the doors kind of to the public here. We're kind of doing stuff a little out of order today. Hey, Christine. Hey, Harry. Harry, the Amazon price code issue is just on the NYSE. It's not. Trust me, we had a. When you're a huge trading organization, trust me, there are tech issues all the time, man. We call them stray tron. So I think it was a price code issue just on the NYSE, and it's not carrying over to the other exchanges. And how many exchanges are there? 8, 9, 10? I remember when there was just one exchange. I mean, hell, the CBOT, the CBOT literally was where the farmers would come in from Illinois and surrounding states and stuff like that, come in and trade their stuff and then go back to the fields, man. That was the exchange, literally. Folks, actually, this slide is wrong. I just checked with customer support. We are down to 7. We have 7 slots left between Full Throttle and Options Weapons School. So hopefully by the end of this, not hopefully, but by the end of this webinar, I know there was a lot of emails and voicemails and stuff like that. Not sure. You can call us if you have questions, but folks, if you call an order over the phone, it's kind of a waste of your time. So this is we're having an absolute braid. Yeah, Benoit, I am right. Don't trade earnings. Look at Twitter. Couldn't happen to a shittier company. I can't stand Jack Dorsey. I can't stand Twitter, and it's imploding. And I absolutely love it. John, can I do a credit spread on Top Gun options? I love that, man. Yes, you could. Well, we're going on. We're in year number 8 right now, and we're having a blast. Real quick review, folks, of some stuff in case you have some questions. Essentially, this is TGO in a nutshell. On the left side of the screen is OWS, and it's not as expensive. On the right side of the screen, well, actually the entire screen is what we call Full Throttle. If you want access to everything we do here at TGO, you want to go the Full Throttle route. If you want, and you can always upgrade, you can always give us a call. What we're in right now is Options Weapons School, but a lot of people want access to everything we do. For example, today, we're not going to do a weekly options trade. It's Wednesday. We're actually going to take a look at a different trade. We're going to take a look at Win right now. Win is a screaming buy. And we're going to talk about Win because it's getting obliterated today. If you haven't seen, there's a lot going on, man, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about weekly options, obviously, because this is what the webinar is supposed to be about. But when I see a good trade, when I see a shot of opportunity, we're going to take it. So I have to cover some administrative items because it's coming to my attention that not everybody is everybody in this room getting my daily video. It's a free, I call it the sit rep, right? The market situation report. I just did today, so you probably didn't get it yet. It gets automatically pushed out to you on a daily basis. So it's about a 10 to 15 minute good rant, talk about what's going on in the market and the trades off and on. Yeah, Marilyn, last week we had to kick the television set. If you are not getting the sit rep, you need to go, well, let me put this URL in. It's free, folks. I ain't selling anything with this. This is just my daily video, man. Charles, not going to talk about Raytheon today. If you have a question, put it in the ready room. Not sure which the Jan 20 trade is not getting clobbered, but if you have a question on Raytheon, put it in the ready room. We're not talking about Raytheon today. But here's the deal, guys. Let me tell you about the sit rep. Here's Google. God bless Google. Actually, God don't bless Google. It sucks. More than it's actually a bigger privacy jerk than Facebook. I can't stand Google, and I pound that in the dirt. But here's what I'm getting at. If you get the sit rep, if you're on the list to get the sit rep and you don't open it for a couple days, guess what Google does? They're not. It's kind of like the Joint Strike Fighter. Well, I guess they don't want to see this. So it is, I guarantee you, for the folks that said I was for a while and I'm not, it's in your spam folder. So you got to go in there and click, hey, man, I do want to read this stuff. So if you're not getting the sit rep and you signed up for it, I guarantee you maybe you didn't watch it. That happened to me. I'm like, I'm yelling at my techies. I'm like, why am I not getting the sit rep? They're like, do you open it every day? I'm like, I do it. Why the hell do I have to open the email? I lived it. And they're like, nope. Google, if you don't click on the damn thing, Google says, especially if it's coming from the same source, they mark it as spam. Google's a necessary evil. So if you're not getting my daily videos, folks, this is where you need to go. Go.topgunoptions.com/sitrep. Okay. And it gets automatically pushed to you. That's why you have to sign up for it. If you're not, and this is, let me click on the, here's where they all reside. So we have a lot of, look at this, 607 views, 654, 580. So you know what, worst case scenario, you can always subscribe to the Top Gun Options YouTube channel, I guess. Yeah, exactly, Marilyn. So do this. This is where the hell's the euro? Somebody click on this. Do me a favor. Somebody click on this to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let me know what you see, because I don't know how to send you a link to like register for the YouTube page. Somebody do me a favor. Harry, you're good. You're a good tactical action man. Let me know what happens when you click on that. All right, enough of that crap. Also, the oh, hey, real quick, man. Woke up this morning and I guess it's a happy day, but I cried my ass off like I was a 10-year-old, like I was a baby. Today is my son Matthew's 18th birthday. 18. What a great kid, and what a ride it. Brian did it. It allowed me to subscribe. Okay, I'll be honest with you, folks. You can either subscribe here to the SitRep, or you can subscribe to the YouTube page, and you'll also get whenever for example, the primary, all the Options Weapons School videos are on this page. So maybe it's a good idea to subscribe to that. Oh, Karen, the YouTube channel alerts tend to be delayed sometimes by a day. Oh wow, that's you look good for just having a baby. I dropped my baby weight pretty quick within a couple hours. Now, obviously, that's me we had Matthew at Balboa Naval Medical Center in San Diego. There's my boy. There's my boy in his Blue Angel outfit there. And then what's this? This is us in San Diego. And then that's us a couple months ago when we went up to Norwich up in Vermont. He's going to be going to Norwich University. It's America's first private military college. It beat VMI, the Citadel, all those other guys. So happy birthday to my son. Why am I bringing that up? Because our YouTube page, our Facebook page, I post a lot of good content on here as well. I should have covered all this stuff like the first night, but I didn't. Because I got motivated. Let me, if you want to, if you can do me a favor, that'd be awesome. You could click like on this page, and that would really help me out. Oh, that's cool, Brian. That's where my daughter was born in 1970. Rob, that's awesome, man. Balboa Naval Medical Center. Isn't that it's a great place. Finally, before we get airborne, the last thing I want to cover is this. Even though I just pounded and I can't stand, I'm like Donald Trump. I can't stand limousine liberals or stuff like that. Unfortunately, you got to use this thing. So my Twitter handle, I'm on here ranting. You want to see some good rants? Follow me on Twitter. It's @WizCheck6. Now, why am I talking about Twitter, especially when it's down 5% right now? Because you need to be on this site right here. And this is what I cover like one of the first nights in Options Weapons School is this. Benoit, I'm probably personally leaving. I might leave a business page. But here's why you need a Twitter account. You need to be on this site, StockTwits. Never heard of it, Wiz. Exactly. This is a freaking awesome site. This is a Twitter for stocks. Oh my God, Wiz. Hence the name StockTwits. I see a lot of good intel on here. Now, before you even ask, this ain't a Yahoo Finance. Remember, Yahoo Finance was great and then turned into an absolute shit show. Spam, penny stocks. I'm a Nigerian prince. Yahoo Finance imploded. StockTwits bans you and your IP if you post anything spammy or promotional. I know because my marketing department like 5 years ago said, hey, join us for a webinar at 1 o'clock. I know the dude that started this. I know a bunch. I had to beg, kick, and scream for 30 days, I think, almost to get back on here. And I have like 8,800 followers. So obviously follow me. But you can find some good intel on here, folks. There are some very, very smart people on WizCheck6 on this site, and you can get some very good intel on here. And there's some good discussions, bullish, bearish, all sorts of stuff, folks. So like I said, you're going to learn this in Options Weapon School. So one of the first sessions is this one. Session number 1 is this, man, my trading methodology and intel sources. So I'm going to share with you where I do all my intel gathering, but I really don't feel like plugging Twitter, to be honest with you. But I love this site, StockTwits. Okay. So I'm paying it forward by letting you know about this stuff. All right. So we covered some admin items. I should have covered Monday night. I didn't. Hey, real quick, let me get a hell yeah if you're up $3,800 right now since last Thursday. Where are all my members from Analyze Your Trade? This VXX bull put spread. How's that looking? That's exactly right, man. It's going to be a hell of a nice weekend. This thing, I think I'm still going to hold on to it because I think we're going to get max profit by next Friday. But I don't know, man. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. If you don't become a member today, folks, I'm not going to see you for a couple months unless you watch my daily sit reps, because we're getting to tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We have an Analyze Your Trade session where we're going to talk about volatility and this trade. We might close it tomorrow for like a $4,000 gain. Look at this. Look at all these comments. You're great. Awesome. Harry, what did we talk about with the SPX trade? Not only does this negate those, how many of you did what I said I was going to do and do both? How many of you got long these VIX calls? These deep in the money 13.5 calls. These are about $4.5, $5 right now. So Harry, the SPX bull put spread loss has been completely wiped out, and we're up $3 grand on these calls. Bob's up 73% on VXX, exactly. Harry's up 60. The other Harry's up 66%. Yep, good. Oh, cool, Virginia. You sent your kid to the Royal Military School. Yep. Matthew wants to. Apparently I dropped him on his head when he was a kid. He wants to be a Marine Corps fighter pilot. Oof. Rob's up $2,700. Yep. Dan's up 72% on VXX. Awesome. Martin, I only did the SPX. Guys, remember, I'm getting a little too tactical, but remember last week, man, guys, what did I say when I looked at a bullish trade on SPX? First of all, I haven't traded SPX since when? Right around here. We haven't traded SPX in 4 months, right? We used to, our weekly option service, folks, every week would be an SPX trade almost and an Amazon. I stopped right here, and here's why. And I should have kept on the pine. But remember, Harry, last week, when as part of my commit criteria and asking what could go wrong in this trade, I said what? We could go back to the 50-day moving average, and we need to get on a hedge. So I would not have put that first of all, the SPX trade is hedged in and of itself because it's a spread, obviously. But what did I say Monday, folks, in the timing research trader roundtable that I hosted? I said this is a binary market this week. We're either going to go straight up or we're going to go straight down. And what did I say, folks? I got to call Mike Paisani from what's his name, Alpha Shark. He said he had a 80%. He said the market's going to be up by the end of the week, 80% probability. What did I say? That's exactly right. I said with a 0.9 delta, with a 90% certainty, Wiz said what? We're going to go down. So, Harry, it sucks you only got the SPX trade, but again, man, I said there's a good possibility that this trade might completely suck, right? And if we go down with any sort of airspeed, either get out of it or make sure you have a hedge on. So I know that sucks a little bit. So exactly, other Harry said that's correct. That's why we got into the VXX trade. Exactly. Yep. So, all right. Real quick though, let's cover this. Here's the replay page. if this is because I saw like another 100, nearly 200 people just opted in for today's trade brief that haven't been here all week. If this is the first time you're hearing me and wondering who this over caffeinated guy is, I run Top Gun Options. I'm the portfolio manager of 4 portfolios here, and this is where you can watch all these replays. Martin, you said it. I didn't listen. I'm with you, my brother. Sometimes I say stuff and I don't listen to myself, which is even worse. So all the replays are on this page. We did some bear call spread training on Facebook last night, and that's a really, I like that. Looking at Twitter imploding, looking at these fangs imploding. If Facebook goes up, it literally will be an act of God. We did a primary life trade brief yesterday where we looked at Raytheon. Folks, this is a January 20 trade, so I will talk about Raytheon a little bit, but look at this, man. Did anybody get filled on Raytheon yesterday or not filled? And down 2% ain't imploding, folks. Who had blowout earnings today? Who had blowout earnings? Boeing. Thank you, Harry. And what's in Boeing? What's in every Boeing product? A shitload of Raytheon. This is an absolute great entry opportunity, period, end of story. So whoever thinks Raytheon is imploding, again, looking at a chart is like driving around the Daytona 500 looking in the rearview mirror. But let's look at the rearview mirror. There's a year chart. There's a 2-year chart. There's a 5-year chart. There's a 10-year chart. Anybody see a trend on this thing? Raytheon's not going anywhere, folks. As a matter of fact, I'd look at a bull put spread. We got to move because I have a lot that I want to cover today. But earnings are tomorrow, folks. This sell-off in front of earnings, what if they come out and report disgustingly good ones? That's why other Harry said I bought more today. So exactly. I absolutely believe that. Okay, so but let's cruise here. So if this is the first time you're hearing me, you need to watch these videos, folks. The oldest one's on the bottom, my welcome aboard brief Monday night, our primary live trade brief yesterday, where we talked about Raytheon being bullish out to Jan 20, and then also the current VXX hedge. Actually, it's not a hedge. What's the word that I used, folks? What is this VXX trade? That's exactly right. All my members are answering it. I made this word up. No kidding, I did. I remember the brief. I'm like, that's pretty damn smart. It's a trade. What the hell's a trade, Wiz? Well, in a trade, we want to make money. If I don't make money on a trade, I'm not happy about it. I'm Mr. Sad Face. What's a hedge? A hedge is if it loses money, I'm happy about it. Whoa, 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 whoa. You don't mind losing money? Nope. Not if it's a hedge. If you're the type of person, folks, that sits at your kitchen table every month and says, I am losing a shitload of money on my USAA auto, home, and life insurance. If there's anybody in this room that does that, please hit the X on the top right of your screen and leave. You will not be a good TGO member. First of all, I don't even remember that I have insurance. It's on auto pay. But I'll tell you what, when my 18-year-old has a fender bender or, God forbid, something bad happens, you go, son of a bitch, thank God I had insurance. So I squeeze these two together. Yes, good, Tim. CSX is looking, I think we're talking about that one tomorrow. So I squeeze those two words together. And what did I mean by that? I told you last Wednesday and Thursday, I said what? Last Wednesday at this time, I literally said, give me one more day, folks. I think we're rolling over and volatility is going to spike. Right? 1, 2, 3. Right here, I said, we're below our recent resting heart rate, folks. And my knees are shaking. I'm an old man in Kansas, and a storm's coming because my knees hurt. And boom, right through the roof. We were up 15% at one point yesterday on the VIX. Right? So a trade is this. A trade is if the market does implode and volatility goes up, I'm making money. Plus, I'm pretty damn confident it's going to go up and make money. It's also a trade. So that's what the VXX was a trade. So we talked about that yesterday, and last night, like I said, we talked about a bear call spread on Facebook. After seeing Twitter, after seeing just about everything sell off after earnings, I feel pretty damn good about that Facebook trade, so take a look at that. Tim, good point. Look at CSX. It's kind of hanging in there. It's up a little bit today. CSX is one of our is one of our stocks in our 8 sectors. What? It's my infrastructure stock. This has been dead money for a little bit, waiting for what? For Donald Trump to stop colluding and porn stars and all sorts of other ridiculous stuff, and get what? Building bridges, roads, and highways and railroads. When that happens, this thing, get out of the way. Okay, so here's the replay page, and then finally, Lisa from Palm Beach just grabbed a Full Throttle Annual Max. Welcome aboard. So folks, we have 7. There are only 7 slots remaining. We will fill up by the end of the day. Here's where you get your Options Weapons School slot. It's cheaper, and it's cheaper for a reason. You don't get access to everything we do here. You get access to about 2 things we do. If you add the weekly options package, right? You get access to the primary live trade brief and weekly. If you want to push the game up a little bit and get access to this is the best deal, guys. We have a VXX bull put spread on from last Thursday that's up $3,800. That is an annual membership plus a weekend in Vegas that we've made in that trade, and that will pay for that. Even if you're in the SPX trade and that one took, so you're at scratch, at least the VIX calls are printing money as well. Let alone the win trades we did last week and all sorts of other stuff. So folks, this is where you want to be, is the Full Throttle Max, and here's the URL for that. All right, now we're going to do our SOT, strategic and operational brief, and then we're going to get tactical, and then we're going to trade. What are weekly options, real quick? Weekly options are what? They're just short-term tactical trades. They expire. So whenever you see a month, April 27th, a date, a month, April, and then a day and a year, these are called weekly options. And by the way, in case some of you guys deal with Susie in customer support, April 27th is her birthday. So today is Matthew's birthday, and on her 30th birthday, April 27th, she got to take Matthew home. We got to take Matthew home from Balboa Naval Hospital. So that is Susie's birthday. If you deal with her at all, that is her birthday. So anyway, the April, month, day, year. Weekly, that's Friday, that's next Friday. There's also quarterly options, and folks, I have buddies in the SIBO that are telling me there's going to be daily options here soon, which would be pretty cool to use to be able to hedge, right? So, but whatever. When you just see a month and a year, that is a monthly option. Monthly option. These are all, regular monthly expirations. These are weeklies, right? So this week, with earnings and a ton of stuff, you know what is a really good trade? No trade. So this week I didn't put on a weekly options trade. Last week, let's take a look at last week. I only shoot, since they're very, very tactical, folks. You only shoot something. You shoot at something when you're confirmed, man. You have what we call a VID, a visual identification. So let's look at our weekly options. They're very. I'm not going to say. I hate saying they're not for the faint of heart. What I'm saying is, the Facebook bear call spread that we put on last night has a month to work. A lot of things can happen in a month, right? Obviously. This trade we placed last Monday. You see the date? 16 April was last Monday. At 1 o'clock At 1 o'clock every Monday is our weekly options brief. We put on a bull put spread, the 1425, 1422.5. The next day at 1 o'clock in our primary live trade brief, this trade, Amazon popped 4%. We were up $2,200. What's that? Like 87. We made 87%, $2,200 in one day, and we closed it. If you had stayed in this trade until Friday, you would have made a full $2,600. There is also a Full Throttle Annual Max subscription paid for in a day. Right? And Dan, that's exactly right. So this is, I kind of explained that term last night, lucky strike moments. These old World War II movies where the dude gets shot in the chest and calls for a medic, and the guy runs up, and what's he do? He gives him a lucky strike. Here you go, man. Get better and fight on. So And I call them lucky strike moments because sometimes, folks, I'll place a trade Monday afternoon in the weekly option service, or I'll put it on in the morning and text it out, and we'll debrief it or brief it live in the brief. Or sometimes I won't put one on Monday. Maybe I put one on Friday and send it out. It just depends. But a week, let me bring up my calendar. A week in the time span of a weekly options, folks, is a lifetime. What do I mean by that? I can't pull up my calendar here without. So you ready for this? Monday, when you guys join, and if you subscribe to one of the Options Weapon School Full Throttle slots that have weekly options attached to it, if we put on a trade on Monday, when we put on a trade on Monday, like I said last week, we put it on here, we close it here. There are some weeks where the trade will be going against us Monday, Tuesday, and I'm like, hey man, grab a lucky strike. This week ain't over. You guys have seen this market. Look at this. There's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So this is a lifetime. So here's the mindset that I tell people to use. It's Benoit. You got time to swear. Exactly. Here's the analogy I use. Look at the month of April. If you're trading a monthly option, those options expire on the 20th. The third Friday of every month is when regular equity options expire. They actually settle the day after. Some people are like, oh, it's actually they expire on the 21st. No, they settle on the 21st. The last day for you to trade them is that day, the third Friday. But weekly options, boom, 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 every Friday. Here's my point. If you're looking at a monthly trade like that Facebook trade, you got 5 weeks? We have 5 weeks on that potential Facebook bear call spread. Listen to me very closely if you're new to options. I treat a weekly option just like a monthly option. What do I mean by that? Well, in the lifetime of a weekly options trade, Monday is week 1, like a monthly option. Tuesday is week 2, Wednesday's week, and Friday, even on Friday, folks, that's almost like a full week mentally in the life of a weekly option. Hell, I've had weekly options trades that have been going through going straight down the fairway, and then at Friday at 12:30, it moves against me. I'm like, son of a, and we gotta shuck and jive or put on a repair trade. So how many times, folks, have we seen like a rip your face off rally on a Monday morning, and then all of a sudden, and by Monday afternoon, it's like, where the hell did that thing go? So they are very, very tactical. So I gotta change my. I got to change my, not for the faint of heart. Here's what I'm getting at is they're tactical, man. They're very, very tactical. We made $2,200 in a week on Amazon. We had a shitload of Amazon weekly trades that were looking great. And then the 1 week we had what? We had I took a full, what was it, 4,800, 4,750, whatever it was. Donald Trump induced right there. Here's a good weekly options trade, bull put spread. Thank you, Mr. Trump. Why don't you, where do I send my invoice for you dumping my Amazon stock? It's a risk, right? So there you go, Tamara. Weeklies require a lot of patience. Rob, FBI was FBI. They're probably listening to me right now. Facebook, FB, was a nail biter last week until late Friday afternoon. Good reason not to panic. That's exactly right, folks. I tell, especially my coaching, my one-on-one coach, folks, if you're feeling panic doing this, you're in the wrong service. Be an accelerated retirement and don't even look at weekly options. If you feel any panic in your trading, you are trading way above your pay grade. Again, I don't want to lose $5,000 in a trade. Donald Trump is going to destroy Amazon. And I laughed. This is another one of those moments when you take a max loss in a trade, and if you're not laughing at it, like there's no way in hell I knew that Donald Trump was going to wake up and at 9:25 before market open, pound Jeff Bezos into the dirt. Did you? No. Graham, that's a good one. Weekly trades are like driving a race for qualifying. Monthlies are like driving to get coffee. It's a good analogy. I like that. So the weekly options, if you do Options Weapon School, you got to, select one of these two. Options Web is cool with weekly options. That's the annual fee, and then here's the monthly. Okay, so that's that. And then over on the Full Throttle side, it's pretty easy to remember. Offensive, right? We're going to get out there and shoot down MIGs and Max Afterburner both have weekly options in them. See, here and here. This is why this one's called defensive. You don't do weekly options. You have accelerated retirement instead. Okay, this is all listed on here, guys, and all the descriptions of exactly what each thing is in here. So, like I said, if you really, really, really have a burning question, you can give us a call. Otherwise, it's all written on that page for a reason, so you can read it. Okay, let's get back. Who sent this to me last night? One of my members sent me. I did not know this. This is a great video to watch. This is well, it's not off target, but I love this story. Wilbur Ross, who's the or what the hell does he do? Mark, thank you, Mark. I was going to say Mark, or I had Mike on the brain. Mark, thank you, man. This. I did not see this. Wilbur Ross gives an insider account of how Icahn left Trump's victory party at like 3 a.m. and made $1 billion. I sat there and watched this. I didn't do that. I was actually on the phone with John Thomas, asking which restaurant he was taking me to, right? I bet him a steak dinner and a bottle of Camus that Trump was going to win. And we sat there watching the futures on the phone together as they went from, imploding to going through the roof. This is a great story. Read this when you get a chance or watch the video. So it's interesting because, well, whatever. I'll leave it at that. Not going to talk about this, or this. Let's get a little operational. Stock slide for a fifth day as the U.S. 10-year yields 3%. We said this yesterday, guys. This 3% is a canary in the coal mine. As the T-bill, as we kind of climb this wall of worry, people are leaving the market. When people are leaving the market to go into a 3% treasury, you gotta wonder what the hell they're thinking. I'll tell you exactly what people doing this are thinking. What are they thinking, folks? When you could not look at that rip your face off rally all of 2017. If you said the word treasury, you would have been laughed out of the exchanges, and they would have thrown you on the street for being an idiot. Now, when the market starts going to this thing, what are people? This is a big canary in the coal mine, folks. Brian, that's a great point. So David Einhorn and what's his name, Ackman from that send out apology letters because they made a 1.6% return last year. Hell, they can double their returns right now. They should open a treasury mutual fund. Of course not, folks. Look at us, man. We can have potentially. We're almost our year-to-date gains are incredible in this type of market. I mean, we're almost at a round. Well, no, we're down here, a round trip. So the 10-year through 3, the VIX, back to life as I predicted last week. The FANG stocks imploding. I remember a couple weeks ago, again watching some of my buddies on CNBC at the halftime show, saying this stuff. Can we live without the FANGs and have corporate earnings back here? I said this, guys. I said when we were down at this 200-day moving average. All my members or you can watch the damn replays, and you don't have to believe me. You can watch me say this. I'm like, Q1 earnings are going to pull us up. And then right around here, halfway up this blue collar climb, I said, I'm getting my knees are hurting. And then officially we did what last week? We got bullish on vol and all that stuff. So have we reached peak corporate earnings? Is the market going, okay, what have you done for me lately? We are so high right now. What are we doing up here? Right? Yeah, K3, exactly. Am I going to pay you 2 and 20 on a return of the 10-year? So, Brad, you might be right, man. Well, Deb, that's what I'm talking about. What's pushing the 10-year up is what? When people, they don't want to be in this anymore, which is telling. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. And somebody said you don't have your camera on. I don't. I was working out and I got my workout look on. So your camera's fine. If we bust this if we don't hold this 200-day, it's look out below. We're done. You'll see the 10-year up at 5%, man. But seriously, listen to me. The 1987 crash, the 9/11 attacks, the financial crisis of 2009. What happened to the markets after those events? Can anybody tell me? You all know the answer. It goes up. So if we do bust the two, if you're a new member, welcome aboard, or you're getting ready to get your membership, welcome aboard. If we go through this 200-day moving average, if you're a current member, that is time to add to our Jan 20s, man. Are you kidding me? 2 years from now, this market, the S&P is up at 5,000, 4,000. I hate throwing numbers out that. What I'm getting at is we might see a shit show coming. And as an options trader, I don't care, to be honest with you. As Gordon Gekko, I could care less. We can print money in any market condition, up, down, or sideways. So if this thing's going to go down, we're going to pound the hell out of it. But we're also going to add to our Jan 20s, or we're going to do what? Initiate new ones, folks. And we're going to trade the hell out of front month. This is how you trade, folks. You just don't trade weeklies. You just don't trade the front months, and you just don't sit here and trade the Jan 20s, man. We're going to trade weeklies. We're going to trade the front months, and we're going to trade out to the distance, man. So we're going to be shucking and jiving a lot here. As an American, I care. I want the market to go up. I want people's 401k. As an American, great. I don't like down markets, and we all hope for better days. As Gordon Gekko, I don't give a shit where the market goes. I'm going to make money. That's why you need to be here, folks. So this headline is shocking to me out of the Wall Street Journal. Now, this is, we're going to talk about win. That's where I'm going. But folks, do you think it's been funny watching Trump with Macron? It's like the sun he never had. Do you think that Donald Trump wants to own this? Somebody tell me. This dude, how many times, and my current members can tell you this, how many times did I see Donald Trump like crow about how the market was doing in one of his press conferences, and me go, will you shut up? Hey, Mr. President, please shut up about the market, because I said, if you own this, you're going to own this. The dude hasn't said one word about the stock market. So for all the people who are like, that dude's the whiz and his rants and his politics, I don't like the dude personally, man. I like the policies, but he's going to eat it. He's going to eat it if he doesn't. If you own it on the way up, man, you own it on the way down, dude. Another canary in the coal mine we talked about this week is the VXX, the biggest inflows into the VXX ETF in 5 years. So, well, Brad, that's not a bad point. He can't stand limousine liberals like Lloyd Blankfein or Jamie Dimon. Remember, like 2 earnings calls ago, Jamie Dimon was his more or less "I'm going to run for president" thing. All these CEOs and even actors, man, are like, oh my God, if Donald Trump can be president, I can. Well, good luck, man. So this is not good for Donald Trump, and he does not want to see this type of press, man. Okay, and the midterms are coming. Okay, so as I've told you, just about every pullback in 2017 was political, but these have had the short volatility trade we know by heart. This was a rip your face off rally. Volatility would never rise again, and I said these guys are all going to get run over. We laughed the other day about my analogy of smart guys running around in their Superman capes picking up dimes in front of a steamroller. I said, they're going to get killed, man. I hope they have enough dimes to take care of the ER visit after they get squashed. Well, no, I know dudes. I know funds that got wiped out. I mean, they're working again and all that stuff, but I was the guy that sat there shaking my head like, I get it. A broken clock's right twice a day, but after this, I've never seen a rally like that in my entire, that was up to that point, it was 24 years of doing this. I'm like, there's no way in hell, guys. Be careful. You're such a Debbie Downer. Well, I'm also making a hell of a lot of money than you are now. Here's what I'm getting at, folks. Like I said this week, it would be binary. We're either doing that, and I predicted with a 90% certainty this week, folks. Monday in the live trading session over Timing Research, I said 90% chance we do this. And it's because of all the intel that I gave you that I came to that conclusion. That's why you want to be here, guys. If you sat there like, earnings were great, why aren't we going higher? I've just given you about 9 reasons. Let me close out this rant with this. This is going to be a binary moment. Then next week, with energy earnings and some other retail coming off the flight deck, if we don't hold this 200-day moving average, we are imploding. You'll see a VIX up at 30. Okay. If Steve Mnuchin over in China does some good work and comes out with his Chinese buddy and said, we're all buddies, man, the trade war is over. If Donald Trump, which is physically impossible, puts away his phone or starts talking this market up along with Larry Kudlow, we go up. Dude, guys, they got the midterms coming up. You think as a Republican congressman, I want to go home? I'd be at a town hall ripping my congressman apart going, why trade war this? And why is the market imploding, man? What's your boss doing? I'd be an idiot if I said this. I'd say, what's your boss doing about the stock market? The presidents have zero to do with the stock market, personally. Their policies can help it out, but come on. So we are in a binary trade moment right now. And next week will be decision week. And that's just not me foreshadowing that you need to be a member, but we can shift literally with a text message and shift our colors from flying the Union Jack to the Pirate Jack and pound this thing into the dirt, right? And you're exactly right, Brian. What's coming up pretty soon? We got a what meeting? Here come the Fed. The Fed's coming, folks. Here's one of your last wisdoms I'm going to give you for free for all the free folks in here. You ready for this? When interest rates are high, stocks will die. When interest rates are low, stocks will grow. Okay. So, Tamara, we briefed that at the beginning. It's with the NYSE. It's not with all the exchanges. So, Beverly, I covered that for about 2 hours last night. Make sure you watch the replay. I'm not worried at all about Facebook's earnings with that bear call spread. Absolutely not. That's why I'd actually put it on today in front of earnings, because you can get some serious premium in it, right? There's uncertainty with their earnings today. With every stock imploding after reporting blowout earnings, there's no way on God's green earth Facebook reports blowout earnings and gives good forward guidance, folks. I don't want to repeat myself. You got to watch the replay from last night. But folks, Jeffrey Gundlach does not Jeffrey Gundlach does not short the hell out of a stock in front of earnings without knowing that they're going to just report great earnings, but be absolutely horrible. So, Beverly, you're welcome. Watch this replay from last night. I don't want to eat up too much more airtime, but I get very passionate about this. I'm telling you, man, during his testimony, what happened? He was 10% of Facebook. This is an old number. I saw UBS or RBC, somebody said it's 15. I'll bet you it's 20%, man. 20% of Facebook users have deleted their accounts. I already briefed you that my now 18-year-old son and my 13-year-old son, Jack, they don't even know what Facebook is. Yeah, they might use Instagram, but he has not monetized the hell out of Facebook. I'm sorry, Instagram. So I can't stand it. It's no. And this dude, he's awful. I'm not going to rant about it anymore, but he's part of the problem of this country, folks. Not as an entrepreneur. He's a great entrepreneur. God bless. I wish I was sitting in my dorm room well, I couldn't get into Harvard if I tried. Great entrepreneur, horrible CEO. Shitty CEO, and he needs to be fired or resign. All right, so anyway, we laughed last night at this, folks, and then we're going to talk about Wynn, okay? What did I laugh about last night besides pounding Facebook? Look, did you guys see this? Amazon's going to start offering in-car deliveries. You heard me. You're gonna leave work one day, and your GI Joe with the Kung Fu grip or your bunny slippers are going to be in your trunk. The replay link is in the chat box, folks. Everything's in the chat box, guys. To buy something or to replay, everything's in here, guys. Everybody see all the links in the chat box, guys. This is another reason why we only do this a couple times a year, and we take limited numbers of people, guys, is because I can't have 312 people in a live trade brief. It gets me crazy. So, Graham, about 50% of my friends in Australia have stopped using it. I absolutely agree with that, man. I told you I'm deleting my personal account here after Saturday, after the Mothers Against Drunk Driving walk. I'm making a business decision on my on the TGO Facebook page. I just don't. Well, whatever. Let's not talk about Facebook anymore. Let's laugh about this together. Amazon. I gave a great impersonation last night. Just ask me of who? Gordon Gekko. If you don't know who Gordon Gekko is, I can't believe you're in this trading room. You have got to watch the movie Wall Street. If you haven't watched the movie Wall Street, you're not an American. You're un-American. So, this is, where is the bull put spread on Facebook from yesterday? Mike, I have no idea what you're talking about. We did a bear call spread last night in a training session. No, guys, I'm going to ignore some of this stuff because it's distracting me. I'll take questions at the end. Amazon's typical worker makes 28 grand a year. Let me do my quick impersonations again. As Gordon Gekko, I think this is awful. What are you talking about, Wiz? That's horrible pay. I'm like, yeah, if he could pay them nothing, it would be even better. I'm glad they're making 28 grand a year. That means me as Gordon Gekko, as a shareholder, I'm printing money. Okay, now I feel gross actually acting like that. Now let me be an American in a flight suit as a fighter pilot. I think that's awful. I think Jeff Bezos is a limousine liberal, and I can't stand him. What happened to Jeff Bezos today? Anybody see this? He got booed by his workers. The guy literally could loan money to God, one of the richest men on this big blue marble, and he's paying his people 28 grand. So they could be part-time workers, yeah, absolutely. But my point being, and you ready for this? You see that dude? He won't be working there in 5 years. That guy will not be there in 5 years, and this lady will be gone. There will be robots going down that aisle. There'll be drones flying around in this area, and these people will be making nothing a year. You know what? I love that as Gordon Gekko. I would absolutely be in a Jan 20 Amazon trade. If the FANGs continue to implode, Amazon's going to be the only one left, guys. They can buy Twitter. So yeah, exactly, Arthur. I don't begrudge anybody. Remember, I'm acting like Gordon Gekko, guys. You guys know me well enough that ain't me. I think it's disgusting. I can't stand limousine liberals in the Hamptons and in Cupertino, California, wearing their sweaters, drinking their Chardonnay in front of the fireplace, talking about somebody should help the poor and the middle class in this country, and then they stick it to them with this. But I think that's great for investing. So anyway. What else in my tactical brief? Tesla. I love to hate Tesla. Tamara, what are you doing with Tesla? This is remember I call it the fangs and the T is silent. Tesla's in the front of this thing. What did I say at the beginning of the week, Monday night? I said sell the hell out of this thing. This is like Facebook, guys. This is Steve Austin going down the runway here. How do I compare? Compare Facebook. Look at this. So you see look at this line, folks. You see the light green line? Anybody? Look at that. Tesla, Tamara's up $900 this morning so far. Look at this. Isn't this awesome? Bob's got a bear call spread up 30%. This is amazing correlation. And I'm not going to rant about it again. You can watch the replay from last night. I said the only way these two stocks ever recover is what? They go. They have got to resign. If they don't resign, their stock is in trouble. You got it. All right. What time is it? Oh, man. We usually only go for an hour, but here's what we're going to do. I'm not doing a weekly options trade on a Wednesday. There's way too much shit going on. How do I take away this compare? Somebody tell. I rarely do this. Enter symbol, maybe just studies or something clear. How the hell do you get rid of this? Arthur, I saw that. He is pulling money out of Amazon to fund his space stuff. Now it says clear drawings. That's about it. There's a clear drawings. I don't know how to get Facebook off here. Oh, wait, right there, little X. All right, here we go. Stop with the this platform. It's I can't badmouth it too bad. I helped build Options House, but this is E-Trade. They've destroyed it. All right. Win. Anybody see? First of all, we as of our last win trade, we made 27 grand in gains, and we had a 4,500, or let's just round up 5 grand. We did about 24 or 25 grand in 3 months in win, just in this one position, guys. This is awesome. I love this stock. And just on the halftime report with the Pete and John, I know Pete and John from my time in Chicago. Great Americans. They absolutely love Win, and for a lot of reasons. This looks like a falling knife, right? You don't want to catch a falling knife. We didn't here, did we? This was what was it, a Thursday? And like an Analyze Your Trade. Breaking news, Steve Wynn is Harvey Weinstein. We pounded that thing into the dirt. Then we waited about 2 days until what? Big bounce back, and we got into a bull put spread. Why? Because I said, this guy, he's got to quit. There's no way Steve Wynn, even with these allegations, he resigned right here as the head of the Republican National Committee, treasurer or fundraising dude, and he resigned, and the stock popped. We made $1 grand in a day, $1,000 in a day on this thing, and then what? We made another $2 grand on a bear call spread, because I'm like, there ain't no other good news that's coming out of Wynn than him resigning. And then each one of these has an event. What I'm getting at, folks, is this stock will stop imploding. Harry, VXX number 1, Win number 2, and winning so far this year. Good for you, man. Yeah, we've, like I said, I did the math on just closed trades. Net is like 25 grand in 3 months. And remember, guys, those are all limited risk spreads. Okay? So if you're sitting there like, hell, I'd like to make 25 grand. Each one of those spreads was risking, it never risked more than 5 grand. I think, we did a 1-day trade last week on Win, guys. Let's look at Analyze Your Trade from last Thursday. This was a repair trade because our iron condor was, look at this. You see where it says Win repair trade? Because I rarely kind of roll spreads, and you guys are going to learn that when you join. So a Win repair trade, look at this. Yeah, this one. Well, no. Look at. I'm still. This is within my my plus or minus range, man. Yeah, it's more than 5 grand, Wiz. I'm the pilot in command. It's $5,600. I was fine with that. We made $1,900 in a day last week on Win. There, $19.95. You ready? $19.95 is what? A full throttle annual membership, 1 day on Win. Here's what I'm getting at. Step 1, my strategic mindset is, you ready for this? Volatile. Last night, it went from neutral, guys. I'm switching. This is an official decision, breaking news at TGO. There's only 4 strategic mindsets, guys. If you read your trade plan, you know that. You can be bullish, you can be bearish, you can be market neutral, or you can be volatile. You ready for this? For the next couple days, I'm predicting volatile because I just briefed you for 7 minutes that this is going to happen. One of these two things, and if I'm a betting man, it's that. That is my strategic mindset, is volatile, but I think I need, this is what I said last week, folks. I said, give me 1 more day. I need 1 more day. Well, exactly, Brian. There's a lot of earnings tomorrow. Oh, that's cool, Walter. You know what? Let me grab that. I appreciate that, man. And to people, I appreciate that, guys. The other day, I went on a rant about the VA because you wonder why people. I'm not going to say that. Let's just say you wonder why people have a really tough time and check out of this freaking world is because you give 15 years to your country, you bury 11 people. And they tell you you're full of shit that you can't hear and your back hurts. So I appreciate that. So apologize for the rant, but I just whatever. And of course now the VA is in trouble because the president's personal doctor, President Obama and President Trump's his nomination to be the VA director is in trouble. Another political hit job by Democrats. It's disgusting. The guy's an honorable man. But anyway, here's what. So step one, my strategic mindset. Step two is my target. Why did I just rant about my strategic mindset? You have got to look at the screen right now. You see this chart right here, folks? Put that in your mind. Okay, Wiz, I got a mental picture of this chart. Okay, good. Everybody, keep that mental picture in your mind. You ready for this? Does that look anything like this chart? Exactly. No, it doesn't. So here's what I'm getting at. Even though Raytheon's taking a little bit of a hit today, does Raytheon look like that chart? Whoops. RTN. Nope. Does one of the other stocks we've been trading a lot look like that chart? Nope. Does CSX look like that chart? Nope. So folks, just because, here's what I'm getting at, just because my strategic mindset has gone from cautiously bullish to volatile, and we might even get bearish, here's what I'm telling you. We have a basket of positions that we trade that has been immune to the overall stupidity. What am I getting at? Because I'm getting ready to get bullish on Win. So you can have this strategic mindset of, holy crap, there's a storm coming, but still in be names that ain't too bad. This is a gap move to the downside in Win, but I got to be honest with you, man, this is way, way oversold. Ooh, when did this come out? I missed this one. Win said the current Win CEO. I'm ready to talk about the future with Elaine Win, our largest shareholder. So what's his face he dumped all his shares, which was good. They're looking to expand into Japan. There is so much good news coming out in Macau as well. First of all, this is a yes to a Jan 20. I neglected to tell all my free folks that are in here, and maybe I did it on purpose since I don't want to, but my marketing folks always give me shit after every one of these. They're like, dude, you have to either do like 1 or 2 sessions and that's it, or not tell everybody. You give away too much stuff, or we should charge for it. And I disagree with them every time. You should not be trading a front month trade on any position you don't have a Jan 20 on. Why? Somebody asked this question, I think, Monday night, and I knew I'd answer it eventually. Why? As an average retail trader, folks, you should only have on about 5 to 7-ish positions, man. That's a lot. I have an average of 20. So if you're a beginner, this is pretty damn good. Intermediate, I'd say maybe 10-ish. If you're an expert, man, you can handle this. This is my job, man. So why am I telling you this? Because how many sectors am I targeting? I have about 7 sectors that we trade. Sectors, stocks and ETFs. I thought you said 8, Wiz. Well, the other is volatility. It ain't really a sector, and we use it as a hedge. So at any given time, I hope I'm answering the question to the lady who asked this Monday night. I only have in these portfolios about 8, because that gets busy. But folks, listen to me very closely. If you have a Jan 20 mindset on Win, I'm telling you right now, folks, this will not be called Win much longer. Unless they want to save money on signage and all that crap. Steve Win's name is Harvey Weinstein. And Harvey Weinstein, I think, is going to be indicted and thrown in prison. They have got to change this name. The stock is going to go, just like I predicted he'd resign pretty soon, pop. They're going to either get bought. Some of these Chinese gaming companies could find Win in their couch. Right? So, well, Tim, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So this means I would have a Jan 20 on Win, a long call diagonal or synthetic stock. I didn't teach you about synthetic stock this week because you're going to become a member and I'll teach you how to do synthetic stock. Synthetic stock actually, I think, was a better idea to do on Win. So there you go. Become a member and I'll teach you. So if you have a Jan 20 mindset, you know what, Wiz? I think you're right. 2 years from now, they either change the name or they're bought. They can't stay like this, guys. But they print money, man. I think I have a speech in Vegas next month. I'm going to go. I love the club Excess, man. The place looks, casinos don't look like they do, folks, because they're charities. So if you have a Jan 20 strategic mindset, why the hell aren't you trading the front month? Bull put spread, bear call spread, selling upside calls. You shouldn't be. So this is what I'm trying to get at, folks, is take a look at a Jan 20 on this trade as well. Let me just, it's exactly right, Dan. People physically line up to give people to give them cash. You got it, Mark. When the Macau positions are printing money. Exactly. So, Rick, Wiz, any thoughts on this guy's opinion? If you guys put a link in the chat box, I can't click on it and open it. So, anyway, I don't know what the new name of Wynn would be, but I got to be honest with you. I actually know an HR director from a name company who she said they canceled their trip to Wynn, their annual conference, because a lot of the women in the company were furious they were going to go patronize that place. So there's downside risk in Wynn, but step 3, let me get into my commit criteria. I'm going to trade a front month bull put spread. This thing, aside from big events, Steve Wynn's a molester, Steve Wynn resigns. What does it do? Keltner channel. Whoa. This was what did I tell you this was the other day, folks? This was good news here. And then what? After that, it was a short squeeze. The good news was Steve Wynn could sell his shares, and they settled some like 10-year-long lawsuit with, what was it, Enterprise Gaming, whatever the hell the name of it was. They settled it. Why did it short squeeze? Because people were short. People said, the Wynn's going down, dude. Oh, crap. What happened to the short squeeze? It ended, and what did Wynn do? It stayed right on this Keltner channel, folks. So this trade that I'm going to show you right now it's a little, I'm not going to say super aggressive. So, but this is, well, exactly. Being short without a hedge on is insane, but you'd be amazed, man. There are insane people out there. So, the Chinese call it Rin. Bet that idea of going to Wynn changes because his ex is the biggest shareholder. Graham, no, it's too late, man. The ship has already left. Even if it comes out tomorrow that all of these charges against Steve Wynn were baseless, the man is going to be remembered as the molester. This is the United States of America today. Bill Cosby, and what happened to Bill Cosby? No, that would have been breaking news. We didn't get a verdict yet, did we? Bill Cosby's hands, the dude's a molester. You guys know what I do in the 60s and 70s. This guy, oh, look at that. Here's how good I am. I haven't even pulled up the Drudge Report today. This man is a piece of shit. We all know it. I thought he was a great guy. Graduated from Temple. He talked to the African American community. Hey, our problem is we have no fathers in the home. He used to beat the hell out of the black community. I believe just about every woman's accusation against this guy. If they come out and say, Bill Cosby not guilty, does anybody think he's not guilty? Well, he's not guilty, Wiz. Do you think he's innocent? So anyway, guys, I don't agree, Graham. Just because the wife is, why change the name of the resort to her maiden name then? She doesn't, I don't think she wants to call herself Mrs. Wynn anymore. What a great point, Virginia. OJ beat it, didn't he? OJ was not guilty. He was definitely not innocent. The dude, we all know he killed him. I'll never forget. I was on board the USS Abraham Lincoln in the ward room, and we were watching CNN at the time, I think, when that happened. Man, you could hear half the ship cheer and the other half of the ship go, "What?" Anyway, yeah, he's out on the golf course down here in South Florida looking for the real killers. I'm going to go out a month, guys. I'm going to let my leash out a little bit on this because I don't think Wynn's going to be heading below, too much below this Keltner channel. But let's give ourselves a little bit of altitude, right? So I'm bullish. I like selling stuff like Wynn. I like being the house. So I'm going to look at what's called a bull put spread. Yeah, exactly, Virginia. The only bad guy, the only guilty person was what? A cop, right? Let's make the LAPD look bad. Yeah, they just happen to be that good to plant that dude's glove somewhere. What's this? The 170 let's go. Let's fly. Let's hop in our time machine. Let's go even. What's the bottom of the Keltner channel here? The 50. What's the half of that? Let's look at the. Now, obviously, winds move since I was doing my little pre-market, my own little brief here. Yeah, this morning at the open. And who asked me last night about the Facebook spread? I said, do not trade in the first hour of trading. It is called what? Amateur hour. Look at the first hour and win. Whoa, whoa. And now look at it. This is the first hour of trading. It is called amateur hour. Don't do a damn thing but drink your Starbucks and watch the market. Okay? So, Kathy, is this a single trade or hedge with another? I don't know what that means. A bull put spread is a hedged trade in and of itself. I'm not going to sell naked puts here. That's what crack addicts do. You don't ever sell anything naked. So let's build our bull put spread. Let's look about $10 underneath where we are right now. What's that? 35. I really had a good time this week, man. It ain't over. We got probably 30. I had a very good time this week. That's a really high probability trade. Here's what I'm going to do, folks, and I'm going to leave you hanging a little bit. We're going to do a trade, but get this. What am I thinking, current members, on win? What am I thinking? Somebody help me out. Virginia, welcome aboard. Yeah, you can shoot Susie an email. Brad, up. It's going to stay above the Keltner channel. That's exactly right. What am I thinking of? You ready? And I want to see everybody's answers in the chat box. I am going to, you ready? Leg into an iron condor. Win ain't going out of business, folks. I'm putting on a bull put spread. What do I also think Win ain't going to do? Have some sort of rip your face off rally. It could. Breaking news, Win changes its name to Wiz Resorts, so they only have to change three letters. Matt Buckley could not be reached for comment because he was partying. So, what is an iron condor, folks? An iron condor, if you're not familiar, you're going to join today, unless we run out of slots, is a range bound. It's two trades. It's a bull put spread we're going to put on down here, and then it's a bear call spread. It's me saying, well, and look at where I drew my two lines, guys. Isn't that funny? That's probably where I'm going to put the bear call spread. But I'm not going to do it today. Why? Because the stock's down. This might seem counterintuitive, but if you think a stock's going to stay in a range like it did back here, and it did here, it just had this big move and this big move, and then it settles down. What do you do first, Wiz? You put on the trade with the more premium. If this thing's going down, you put on the bull put spread first. Whoa, holy shit, man, you lost me. Listen to me. With this thing going down, the options market's saying, wow, you're taking on a lot of risks, dude. Let me pay you some nice premium for that. If you did this bear call spread first, the options market's going, what are you, stupid? Win's going down. We're not going to, we'll pay it, but you ain't getting scratched for that. Does everybody understand that? If you don't, you're going to spend 2 hours with me in an iron condor brief, and I'm going to explain it. But we're going way long today, but just know, folks, with something going down, as long as you think it ain't, I've just given you 3 minutes of why this thing, I think we're going to hold. So you put the bull put spread on first because there's more premium. I believe, folks, even if the market, the overall market starts imploding and shit like this, Win's going to level out. Not that low. I didn't mean to do that. Win's going to level out, and then maybe even it's going to rise a little bit. When I see a green day on Win, I'm going to send out an alert, or we'll do it in a live trade brief, and we will put on a bear call spread. Good. Awesome. If you don't get 90% of what I just said, welcome to Top Gun Options, man. I was you. When I started learning stuff, I'm like, oh my God. But when I think about it, I'm like, well, that makes sense. And now I teach this stuff, folks, because I was you. So let's look at the bull put spread first. And here's what's really, really, really cool. I'll talk about the trade in a second, but let's look at this first. Wiz, you're risking $5,800, man, to make $1,700 in a month. That ain't too shabby. But no, I'm not. What are you talking about, man? It says it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I call this a football trade, right? Here's football uprights, okay? That's what a football upright looks like. Roll that to the right. You ready? Let me do this. Let me do it this way. I call this a football trade. So mentally just visualize that. The footballs win, okay? You can't lose on both spreads. It's physically impossible. There's no way this will be the football. You ready? There's no way the football, even Charlie Brown with his unlucky ass, the football can't split mid-flight and you lose on a bear call spread and the bull put spread. The stock can't do that, folks, right? That's exactly right, folks. The Iron Condor, if I have two spreads on, I'm going to do another spread that looks almost exactly like this. It'll risk about it'll risk about $5,000, $5,500 and potentially make that. I just told you we closed one of these last week in Iron Condor on Win that made $4,800. It went right down the fairway. So when you look at this and you go, oh my God, this guy's already breaking his own SOP right in front of me. You're damn right I am. It's not necessarily breaking it. First of all, I'm the pilot in command of this airplane and I can do what I want. Second of all, I know I'm going to put on a bear call spread. And it actually, when we have both trades on, I guarantee you, doing the math mentally, we're only going to be risking about a max of $4,500. So doing an Iron Condor actually lessens your risk. So whoever asked earlier, like, is this hedged with another trade or something like that? I wouldn't say it like that, but doing an Iron Condor is going to do what? Lessen our risk. And I'm pretty damn sure it's going to stay in a range. It has been for 3 months, even with all the shit show and lawsuits and all sorts of crap going on, guys. Okay. Didn't want to get that deep into it, but I want to explain myself. When I deviate from the SOP, I'm going to give you a reason for it. That's why you're here, folks. That's why you want to be a member, is you want to peel back my brain and go, what's going on in your brain housing unit? Okay. Exactly, Graham. Here's the trade. This is the bull put spread that I am doing first. Maybe next week after you become a member and you're sitting in this brief, we're going to talk about the bear call spread, because hopefully by next week it kind of, stabilizes and starts heading back up a little bit. That's when we'll do the bear call spread. Okay. I'm going to sell 30. Why 30? I'm going to tell you in 2 minutes. Of the May 18, I already told you why that far out. Of the 172.5, I already told you why that strike puts. Wiz, you're wrong. The Nevada Gaming Commission comes out next Tuesday and says we're pulling your gaming license because Win's a molester and the stock goes to zero. That's going to suck, but we're hedged. If it implodes through 170 during the time of flight of this trade, what happens? We're long these puts. We cannot lose anything below 170. Our risk is limited. This is called a bull. I'm neutral to bullish on the stock. I'm using puts, and it's a spread. Bull, put, spread. Like I said last night, it's also a credit spread. We're getting paid to do this. We are Win. We are the house, right? Let me grab a screenshot of this because I'm going to put it in our replay. 1 second. All right, let's grab a screenshot. And to be honest with you, folks, since we do give a lot of free stuff away here, this is just going to go to my members, man. You got to join. I can lead you to water. Now it's time to start drinking. Here's the why $5,800 in risk. Wiz, you're smoking crack. No, I'm not, man. This is based on a model portfolio of 100 grand. My SOP, my standard operating procedures. I don't want to risk more than 5%. It'll suck if I take that, but it also is not going to cripple me. You might be 1%, you might be 2.5%, you might be 10%, you might be 100%, and you'd be an idiot. But it's none of my business. If you can look at and this is based on what, folks? This $5,800 in risk is based on 30 contracts. You don't want to risk 5,800 bucks, you don't do 30 contracts. It's that easy, and I will teach you all of this. Now, if we're okay with that, we know our risk. We're a fighter pilot going on the mission. We know what our risks are. Now we can look at Mr. Happy Face dude up here and go, there is a 74% probability of making 1,700 bucks, folks. This is a very high probability trade. Okay. Now let me, and this, this is usually our accelerated retirement block, folks. So this is a more conservative trade, right? Let me grab this screenshot. File, save as, win 425 with the metrics. This is a more conservative trade. Well, exactly. Virginia's saying if you're only trading, was it 50 grand? You trade 15. Exactly. You can do the math. Okay. Look at the break even. Look at Mr. I'm okay. The gray face. The break even on this trade is all the way down here. Look at that. Mysteriously, it's right down there at once. But look at the probability, folks, using at the money volatility. It just clicked at 75. Look at that. Let me use this as an example. You ready for this, folks? 3 out of 4 times, 75%, 3 out of 4 times you are going to break even or hit your max profit. That's pretty damn good. But that also means what? 1 time out of 4, folks, I might be wrong, and this is the world, folks. That's why you need to look at this too. There's a 21% probability of getting your ass kicked. Yeah, but look at this. I got that. I'm happy about that. This is where you need to look first. Okay? So, but you know what? Since we are talking about the damn trade and we are technically in the weekly options brief for the week, let me send this out to the weekly options members. It's not a weekly options trade, but it is a trade. I'll manage it in that portfolio. Why not, just to keep everything straight, okay? And this will be my final text message. Thank you, HH. I appreciate that. So HH says, hey man, it's time to press the I believe button and sign up for TGO. I appreciate that. And it's funny, and my members know I'm going to joke about this. As I start talking about a trade, the price usually goes lower and lower, which is a good thing if you got filled on it, because we end up, you guys end up moving the market before I can even get into this. Where's weekly options? Right there. All right, so somebody asked about the portfolios last night. Here's how I send out the text. You ready? WO means weekly options. New, win, bull, put, spread. Let me paste it in here. Oh, man. And I talked about adjust and eject last night. You have got to watch the replay, and I'll talk about it more in depth when you become a member. Hey, real quick, if there are any, I'm going to save you. So I'm going to make you money right now. If there's any non-members in this room right now who are veterans, you ready for this? I can't stand this broker, but I'm going to say it saves me it definitely saves me 5 digits in trading commissions. TradeStation. If you are a veteran, if you are on active duty, or if you're a first responder, a fireman, a cop, rescue squad, you get commission-free trading at TradeStation. My buddy Shrek, who flew Hornets with me, we went to Top Gun together. He's like, Wiz, that's about like 6 to 12 grand a year. You just saved me. You made me 6 to 12 grand. You're welcome, and thank you for your service. Yep. TradeStation is commission-free trading for veterans and active duty and first responders. God almighty, folks. So the tools suck, and their business development department sucks. To be honest with you, they're just not good. So, Eileen, what about the bear call spread on Win? Eileen, I spent probably 8 minutes talking about the bear call spread when I do it. Did I ever mention any strikes? Peter, TradeStation, BLOWS. So I set up a lot of stuff, but yeah, no comment, man. I'll leave it at that. I don't disagree with you. A first responder, Benoit, is a fireman, a police officer, or an ambulance rescue squad member. Manohar, I will give you the contact info of the guy to hook you up, and you can tell him I sent you. And their business development department sucks. I'm going to sell the 172.5 puts, and I'm going to buy as a hedge the 170 puts. You're welcome, man. Look at this. Hey guys, if I just saved you like Shrek $6,000 in a year and you don't become a member, I'm going to find you, and I'm gonna call my buddies Moose and Rocco on you. If I just saved you $6,000 and you don't become a member, that's you whatever. About a 56 cent credit. I'd go about 5 cents wide on this trade. I'd maybe adjust it if it moves against me at a probably 95 cents, and maybe eject around $1.10, or what's that, $1.12 to be formally. If you don't know what any of these terms mean, you didn't watch the replay from last night and you need to join this. So this goes out to my members, this text, and then now I'm going to send a text for the last time. David, this is what I just covered, my friend. You asked, do I ever leg into spreads? Not single spreads. I never am a straight call buyer or put. No, it's no. The only straight puts I've been a buyer of recently have been the FANG stocks that we've pounded into the dirt. I told you to get into some Tesla 3 weeks ago, Tesla crash spreads, but no. I leg into iron condors, right? That's what we're talking about doing with Win. But okay, this will be the last text, ladies and gentlemen, to my free folks. You ready for this? Where is it? Promo. So this is a promotion week. Options Weapons School webinar registrations. If when you joined this webinar series this week, you gave us your cell phone number, there is your last text on me. If you didn't give it, no, I can. And I love how people type their number in the chat box right now. You need to. You needed to do it then. Yep, I already got my phone's buzzing. I already got the text. That's how quick it is, guys. So remember, 80%, you ready for this? 80% of our members work. So you can be sitting in death by meeting. I can run TGO from my phone, folks. I got my brokerage platform on here. I can send. So if I were me and I got a text from me, I could switch over. There's my trades. I can sit in death by meeting and trade. And then when I get home and after I have my cake tonight with Matthew and so, I'd sit down and watch the replay from today. Okay. So and you know what? I'll send an email out to. I already laughed. We laugh at some of our Canadian friends because whoever their cell carrier is, they think this is coming from a spam number, and I have to send them an email. I'll do that after this because we got to wrap up here in 8 minutes. We usually don't go this long on Wednesday, and I have coaching calls to go to. So, all right, folks. Yeah, exactly. If not a restricted conference room, you're right, Brian. Shrek, my buddy Shrek works in the Pentagon. There's a lot of areas in the Pentagon you're not allowed to go with a cell phone unless you're Hillary Clinton or Huma Abedin, and then you can do whatever the hell you want on your cell phone and then destroy them. You can send and receive classified information on your personal cell phone device and destroy your servers that are under federal subpoena. If I did that shit, folks, I would be in jail. Harry, Win is up 6% already. Hell yeah! Look at that, man. We get bullish on Win and it starts to turn. So there's where we wanted to put our trade on, and it's already up. There you go. Harry's up 6% in Win already. All right, guys. I'm not going to sit here and blow any more smoke. If you haven't joined by now, I can't help you. I did all this stuff for free. I opened up the doors. I was a good guy and gave you free access. Some people in this financial training space charge you for this stuff. I gave you 4 sessions for free, man. Imagine what you can get when you join and you're a full squadron member here. Okay, so here's the link. I don't know how many slots we have left. I know my phone vibrated a couple times when we were in this brief. Once we get 25, folks, we will take this page down and you will not be able to get a slot. Don't be the guy or the lady that calls us in a week and goes, hey, can I? We will respectfully say no because we are full. So all the links are in the chat box. And like I said, I can't do any more. I'm giving you all I got, Scotty. And if it's going to take any more convincing for you to join, I almost at this point really don't want you to become a member, because those folks end up being a pain in the ass. I'm telling you right now, the customer ain't always right at TGO, and that's the way I run my business, period. I just don't, we don't need squeaky wheels here. We are a very close, tight-knit squadron. And half of our trading sessions, folks, you can see each other's chat. So when you become a member next week, you're going to be able to meet your other members. I don't let you see each other's chat this week because it's a shit show. There was 526 people in here at one point. It's absolutely, and I'm sorry if I, couldn't get to all your questions. In AR and Analyze Your Trade, there's under 200 members. I think we're getting close to 200 in here. But go to webinar. Over 200 people, you can't see each other's chat. Under 200 people in this one and this one, you guys chat back and forth, and we have a good time. So you'll meet your fellow members, and then obviously save the date. June 30th, down here in God's waiting room, is going to be a live event. I'll get you more details on that soon, okay? So you'll actually get to meet me. I'll give you autographed copy of my book if you want, and we're going to have a good time, okay? So learn to take your loss like a man. That's why you paper trade first. Thank you, Graham. You're absolutely right. Watching the volume pop on the spread, got the text message. There you go, K3. Thanks, Wiz. Enjoy the day and see you tomorrow. You bet, Mark. All right, folks, join or lose. I appreciate that. All right, man, I'm not going to cover any of these more slides. I'm going to go head down to get a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to come back here and do a coaching call with, what time is it? All right, at 3 o'clock. So, like I said, once you become a member, you'll learn that I have one-on-one coaching calls and different programs you can, fleet up to. If you want more, if you want one-on-one coaching and training with me, you can also get that. We build a specific trade kind of plan for you, a 1-year trade plan, man, and we debrief weekly, and depending on that service, we do some good work, man. I've become really, really, really good friends with a lot of my folks over the years. So, all right, guys, that's it. I'm out, man. I'll see many of you. This is why you don't want to necessarily just do Options Weapon School, because I'm going to see many of you tomorrow in Analyze Your Trade. If you do Options Weapon School, you ain't going to see me tomorrow. You'll see me Monday if you do weekly options, okay? So I strongly recommend you go to this page, the Full Throttle, and you do the Max Afterburner package. It just makes sense. $29.95 for a year or $295 for a month. Okay? So thanks, man. I appreciate that. You bet, Harry. Thank you, Becky. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. I'm out. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I will see many of you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And if you're not in Analyze Your Trade, remember we moved Accelerated Retirement, what was supposed to be right now, to Friday. So we'll talk Friday as well. So we have 2 more days with my other members. If you're a free member and you don't get in today, we'll see you on the flip side. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless, and I'll talk to you guys later. We'll see you. Thanks for coming to Options Weapon School.